Hi guys, today's about all kinds of info regarding polynomial functions. So here we go. First of all, different types of polynomial functions. The first one is called constant. Constant means there is no x. An example that's just like y or f of x equals -14. That graph would just be a horizontal line. The second type is linear. Also has one x. Degree is one. Now degree is the biggest exponent that you see. So the biggest exponent of that problem is 1 on the x. There's an example right there. Quadratic, we talked about. Okay, I was getting interrupted, so I'm not sure where I was, but quadratic has x squared in it. Looks like that's the example, but quadratic is x squared. Okay, so the degree is 2. Again, the degree is the biggest exponent. Cubic has x cubed. The biggest degree is 3. Looks like that. That's called standard form. Notice the exponents in standard form go in decreasing order. Biggest exponent, next biggest, next biggest. Last one is quartic. Degree 4, the biggest exponent is 4. There's a quick example. And again, exponents in standard form go in decreasing order. Biggest exponent first, and the exponents decrease as you go through. All right. First kind of problem, decide whether each function is a polynomial. If so, write it in standard form, state its degree, the type, and leading coefficient. Okay, so part A. A is already in standard form, which means they decrease. What's the degree? The degree is 3. What type is it? It's cubic because the degree is 3. And what's the leading coefficient? The leading coefficient, I'm going to put LC for leading coefficient. It's the coefficient of the degree term, so -2. B is not in standard form, so we got to put it in standard form first. The x to the 4 should come first, followed by the x cubed, and then the 12. Okay, the degree, what's the biggest exponent? 4. It's a quartic because the degree is 4. And what's the leading coefficient? The very first coefficient, if it's in the standard form, is square root of 2. Let's do one more of these. Well, these two are good. Part C is not a polynomial because of that negative exponent. Remember, negative exponent flips things. If you have an x in your denominator, like that would be that term, to be 7 over x. You cannot have an x in your denominator and it be a polynomial. So that's not a polynomial at all. This one, also not a polynomial because you cannot have x as an exponent. Okay, your exponents must be numbers. So that's also not even a polynomial, so we don't have to worry about the rest of the answer. All right, evaluate this where x is 3. All that means is I'm going to plug 3 in everywhere I see an x. So I'm going to say f of 3. That's how you write that. 2 times 3 to the 4th minus 8 times 3 squared. 5 times 3, this is all we're doing is plugging it in, okay? 3 to the 4th is 81, times 2 is 162. I don't have my calculator, so 9, that's going to be 9 times 8 is 72, plus 15 minus 7. Let's see, that's going to be 90 plus 15, 105. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 98. So f of 3, 98. Just plug it in, work it out. In behavior, this is huge for the rest of the year, really. And the notation is kind of unusual, which we'll get to that in a second. Basically, this is the case. If your degree is odd, any odd degree, meaning your biggest exponent's odd, and your leading coefficient is positive, what happens is your graph goes down to the left, up to the right. That's every one of them, every one. Now, if it's odd degree, meaning the biggest exponent is odd, and your leading coefficient is negative, it does just the opposite. It goes up to the left, down to the right. And this is how we're going to write it, which is kind of weird, and we'll talk about this a lot tomorrow, and I'll show you the next slide. It's going to help too. Now, if it's even degree, meaning the biggest exponent is even, the ends of your graph go the same direction. Okay, if it's positive, up left, up right. If it's negative, down left, down right. Okay, so even's a little bit easier because they go the same direction. Odd, and you can think about this. Anytime it's positive, the left side, I can't say that. The right side is always going up. The right side is always going up. And that's about all I can say there. I thought I was going to get a little shortcut, but I can't. I'll give you a great gesture for these tomorrow, though. I know you're excited about that. All right, so this one just says, describe the end behavior. First of all, it's even. And because it's even, I know they're going the same direction. Either both ends are going up or both ends are going down. Because it's negative, that means they're both going down. So here's how I'm going to write that. I would say, as x is going to the left, that means the graph's going to the left. The y is going down, which means it's going to negative infinity. As x goes to the right, that's how you write right. So that's how you write left, that's how you write right. The graph is going also down. So that's how you write down, that's how you write down. Okay, so the notation is kind of weird, and you'll get used to it. We'll work on that tomorrow when we do those problems. All right, this one says, let's graph these two. First of all, we need to figure out where the zeros are, where the x-intercepts are. So we're going to factor these by grouping. Let's take out a negative x squared out of the first two terms. That leaves me x minus 1. Take a 3 out of the second two. That leaves x minus 1. So pull out the x minus 1. And that leaves a negative x squared plus 3, which is, okay, so here's what I know right now. 1, 0, where x-intercept is 1. The other two are going to come out of there. What makes that 0? Okay, so that's negative x squared. I'm going to come to the side down here. Negative x squared plus 3 is 0. I'm going to move the x squared over here. So it means x is going to be plus or minus the square root of 3. Now, punch in my calculator. The square root of 3 is like 1.7, which means negative square root of 3 is like negative 1.7. Now, here's how you graph. Here's all we're doing on the graph, not being exact today. Because it's odd, the ends go opposite directions. Because it's negative, it goes up to the left, it must pass through the 0, and goes down to the right. So it's going to do something like that right there. That's what the graph is going to look like. Let's do one more of those. Second one here, I'm going to do grouping again. The first two terms, take out an x cubed. Second two terms, take out a 4, a negative 4. And that leaves me here, it leaves me an x minus 1 and also an x cubed minus 4. So I'm looking for the zeros so I can know where the x-intercepts are. 1 is at 0. The other one I'm doing is I'm doing x cubed minus 4 is 0. So x cubed is 4. So I'm going to take my calculator and do the cube root of 4. And the cube root of 4 is, let me punch this in here. Cube root of 4 is just a little bit over 2. Right there. Also, one thing we should have done last time that we didn't, also the y-intercept is right there. The y-intercept is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I know I have a point there. Okay, now, because it's even and positive, both ends go up. Okay, so both ends are going to go up, so it's going to do something like this. It's going to pass through there, go down somewhere, it's going to come back through there. So it's going to pass through all 3 of those points, and it's going to go up. Okay, you can also check the graphs on your calculator, but I need to see the points, and I want to see how you got your zeros there. That might have been a little, this is probably a pretty confusing video. I know you're not going to get it all from this. I don't expect you to, but we'll work on it tomorrow. We'll get it. I want you to feel good when you leave class tomorrow. Okay, so it's really not hard stuff. It's just kind of weird for video. Okay, so hope it helps. See you tomorrow.